Hello, thank you once again for watching my channel. Welcome to Kitchen of Love with Ms. Perez. I am yours truly, Jocelyn Perez. And as I promised in my first video, I wanted to show you guys how to make my quick and easy pico de gallo. Okay, I do prefer to make my own pico de gallo because I have bought like pre-made pico in the stores and it goes bad very, very quickly. And I was just like, no way. Like that was just like one and done, like I bought it once, like never mind. I just prefer to make my own instead. It lasts longer. And it's more delicious. I honestly think, it's my opinion, but I honestly think that homemade food is a lot better than pre-made food and stuff like that. But anyways, let me go ahead and translate. Just be patient with me. Hola, bienvenidos a mi video. Mi nombre es Jocelyn Perez y estamos en Cocina de Amor con Señora Perez, Kitchen of Love with Ms. Perez. Como está explicando en inglés, como yo había como ya había explicado en mi primer video, yo quería enseñarles a ustedes cómo hacer su propio pico de gallo. Ok, les voy a enseñar mi receta. Y yo prefiero hacer mi propio pico de gallo porque una vez yo traté de comprarlo en la tienda ya hecho previamente y no dura, se daña demasiado de rápido en la nevera. Y mi opinión, yo prefiero hacer mis propias cosas lo más que yo pueda en mi propia casa, en mi propio hogar, porque creo yo que sabe mejor, sabe mejor de lo ya que está precocinado ya. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and start, and this is very, very easy to make. This only takes literally, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients. 4 ingredients only. Esta receta solamente se toma 4 ingredientes, ok. Bueno, por lo menos mi pico solamente lleva 4 ingredientes, ok. Primero que nada, el primer ingrediente que va a empezar es con una cebolla blanca entera, ok. A veces la pico entera, a veces por la mitad, depende de la cantidad que haga y depende de lo grande que sea la cebolla. We're gonna start off with one white onion. Sometimes I cut up the whole thing. Sometimes I use only half of it. It just depends on how big the onion is, and it also depends on how much I need as well throughout the day. But I usually use either one onion or a half an onion, depends on how much you're gonna make. Then we're gonna use tomatoes, okay. I chose to use Roman tomatoes. I don't know why. I'm really not picky with tomatoes, to be honest with you. I know there's certain tomatoes for certain things, but I'm not a professional chef, okay. Yo no soy una chef profesional. Yo utilizo cualquier tomate. Yo no soy picky con los tomates tampoco. Estos son tomates romanos que vamos a utilizar en el día de hoy, okay. And I usually use 2 to make a good quantity of pico de gallo. And then for our third ingredient is, of course, one and only cilantro. All right, so we're gonna use cilantro in this mix, in this little concoction of pico de gallo. And then I'm also gonna use a lime. Lime is everything when it comes to Mexican food. Los limones son todo en la cocina mexicana, con comida mexicana. Es todo, le da mucho sabor. Y como está explicando, vamos a utilizar cilantro también para el pico de gallo. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start by cutting the onion. Just want to cut both halves first, or both ends, I should say, both ends, sorry. Vamos a picar los dos lados de la cebolla so it can just stand up just like that. And it's going to be a lot easier to cut and to peel. So first, we can start with like half an onion. And if I feel like, I need some more, then I can just cut up the other half. It's not a problem. Of course, we'll take the outer layers out. And then, of course, go ahead and cut up the onion. Like I said, I'm not a chef. I'm not a professional, so excuse me if I'm cutting a little bit slow here. But onions, you gotta be very careful the way that you cut them anyways. You always wanna put your fingers this way when you hold the onion, so that way you don't cut off a finger. I think I prefer to cut off a nail than cut off a whole finger. But we're not trying to cut anybody today, or definitely not myself. All right. Aquí, como está explicando en inglés, normalmente se pica la cebolla, se supone que se pica con con los dedos así cuando estás aguantando la cebolla, porque cualquier accidente que pase, yo prefiero picar una uña que un dedo entero, ¿ok? Pero así es como se pica la cebolla apropiadamente. This is how you properly, cut an onion. All right, so we're just gonna cut them in small dices. Vamos a picarla en cantitos bien pequeños, bien pequeños. I'm gonna dice up the onion, okay? Mind the background noise. I am a family woman. I have 4 kiddos. 3 of them are babies. Disculpe el ruido en la parte de atrás. Yo soy madre de 4 y 3 de ellos son bebés. So, excuse the noise. All right, so now we're just gonna put it into a plastic container. Or I like to mix everything up all together. And I think we're good with this half an onion. It was a pretty big onion. So I think we're good with the pico. Creo que no tengo que picar más cebolla porque esta cebolla era bastante grande y solamente piqué la mitad y hay bastante. So yeah, I'm only gonna cut half the onion today. It's more than enough for today. I'm planning on making chicken burritos today or whatnot. For those of you that saw my first video, y'all can learn how I make them. And this was one of the main ingredients. Como está explicando en inglés, hoy estoy pensando hacer este burrito de nuevo con pollo, de pollo. Si ven mi primer video que hice, ahí ustedes pueden ver mi receta como yo hago los burritos de pollo y los tacos de pavo molido. If you see my first video, that's how you guys can learn how I make my chicken burritos and my ground turkey soft tacos. All right, so pretty much this how much is gonna fill up. It's a lot, so it's enough, for me and my family for tonight. So I'm just gonna cut up this like half an onion. All right, that's how much it makes, depending on the size. All right, so now I already, pre-washed all my vegetables and fruits, so don't judge. All right, so ahora vamos a picar el tomate. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut up the tomato. Now this is how they taught me in school, how to cut out the core of a tomato, pretty much in the center. And then we go from there. Now, tomatoes. One thing, in case y'all didn't know, the seeds in the tomato are pretty much one of the few things that your stomach cannot digest. If y'all didn't know, now you know. I learned that in medical school in the past. Yeah, the tomato seeds, your stomach is very hard to digest them, and they just don't. So every time I cut tomatoes or I deal with tomatoes or gonna eat them or whatever, I always take out the seeds as much as I can. Como está explicando, con los tomates es bien importante. Yo siempre saco casi todas las semillas, lo más que yo pueda, las semillas de tomate. Porque si ustedes no sabían, cuando yo estudié hace un tiempito atrás, hace un par de años atrás, yo estudié para la carrera médica. Entonces ahí yo aprendí que las semillas de los tomates, si ustedes no saben, son una de las cosas que tu estómago no puede procesar, no puede procesar los tomates en los intestinos y todo eso. Es algo que es bien duro y no. So, yo trato lo más que yo pueda, ¿verdad? Para sacar todas las semillas posibles de los tomates. Because it's really not good for you, the seeds. So, like I was explaining in Spanish, just remove as much seeds as you can. It's better for you anyway. Alright, so we're just gonna cut them as well, just like the onion, in like small little dices, because we're making pico de gallo. We don't want chunks of tomato in there, especially for people that are not tomato people. Sorry if you're not a tomato person, but I love tomatoes. Disculpe si era una persona que no le gustan los tomates, pero a mí me encantan los tomates. Me encanta. So, vamos a picarlo así en cuadritos pequeñitos, como está explicando en inglés. Igual que la cebolla, tratar de hacerlo lo más pequeño posible para que mezcle muy bien con los pedacitos de cebolla. I'm going to cut them as small, pretty small, so that way you can blend in very nicely with the small cut onions. Dice cut, I guess that's how you properly say it, maybe. Not really sure. If I'm wrong about anything, don't hesitate to correct me, okay? Alright. Y esta receta es bien fácil. Ustedes pueden hacerla, tú sabes, en cualquier manera que ustedes deseen. Pueden improvisar, okay? In my kitchen, there's no rules. Like I was saying in Spanish, you can create your own recipe. You can add to it. You can, you can do whatever. Like, I don't think there's rules when it comes to cooking, of course, unless you're making something like straight out of an ingredient or recipe. Or unless you're making something like very traditional, those are like times where I do like fully respect a recipe and I follow the instructions and everything. But other than that, everything else you can improvise. I think honestly, the inventions that you can create yourself in the kitchen are the best foods ever. They come out super delicious. I don't know why. All right, I'm almost done with this tomato. Got about halfway done now, and I think I need a bigger bowl. I think I chose a bowl that's too small. Pienso que seleccioné un plástico ahí que esté muy pequeño. Voy a tener que buscar algo más grande para echar este pico de gallo. It's coming out more than what I expected. But hey, as long as you guys learn something new, hey, that's all that matters to me, really. Si ustedes aprenden algo de mí sobre mis videos, hey, amén. Eso es lo que yo quiero, o sea, que aprendan algo nuevo y me gusta ayudar, I love helping, I love learning too. I love learning too. So like I said, if you come up with something different or something that could like spice up my recipes, hey, I'm more than welcome to suggestions. I love ideas, I love to learn. Like I said, I'm not a professional chef, okay? Don't judge. I know my nails are messed up. Don't judge. The struggle is real. I'm pretty sure, most of us have been there at one point or another, all right? All right, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna need a bigger bowl because this pico de gallo is occupying all the space here. All right, so we got the onions down. And the tomatoes down. Look at that. Look at that. All right, the mix is coming up very, very, very nicely. All right, so now this is where I add in my cilantro into the mix. And the good thing about cilantro is that it's very leafy, if that makes any sense. So a little bit goes a long way. Trust me, guys, a little bit goes a long way. You always want to wash it too, because, it does grow out of the ground, Alright, so washing our cilantro. Alright, so now I usually fold it so it can be a lot easier to cut and faster as well. So we're just gonna cut it like that and very, very little. Once again, we're cutting everything pretty little. You guys know how pico de gallo looks like. Pues si vamos a picar el cilantro bien pequeñito. Lavamos el cilantro, claro. Ahora estamos picando bien pequeñito para que mezcle muy bien en el pico de gallo. Okay? This is very quick and easy to do. It's really nothing to it. Alright. Bien fácil de hacer. Bien, bien fácil. Okay, so now we got, look how pretty that is. Mira qué lindo. Okay, tenemos nuestra cebolla, nuestro tomate y nuestro cilantro. Ahora here comes where the lime comes in. All right, so we're gonna cut it in half. I usually just cut it in half. And I usually just use like one piece of it to, squeeze out some lime juice in there. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Mira qué rico. Vamos a exprimirlo bien, bien exprimido. Tratar de sacarle todo ese juguito. We're gonna squeeze it enough to try to get all that lime juice in there. All right. Delicious, delicious. And then now we just mix it up. Mix it up. Sorry, I got a mess in here, you guys. I gotta clean up my kitchen. Always clean as you go, you guys, okay? Don't follow my lead here, okay, with all this mess. All right, so now we're just gonna mix it all up, all together. You can mix it with your hands too, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I cook for my family, I don't cook for nobody else. So Puedes también mezclarlo con sus manos si quieren. Yo cocino para mi familia, yo no cocino para más nadie. So, a mí me da igual. Yo me lavé las manos, so it's okay. I wash my hands, so it's okay. All right. So, then we just mix it up. Mix it, mix it, mix it up. Mix, mix, mix. As you can see, it's starting to look like real pico de gallo, you guys. I think we're onto something here. I'm just playing. I made this plenty of times. All right, and look. That's how it looks, you guys. Not bad, right? All right, well, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys learned how to make your own homemade pico de gallo. Hey, I'm telling you, it tastes way better than the pre-made that they sell at the store. And I think it's better than Taco Bell, but shh, don't tell nobody I said that, okay? Pues así es como queda el pico de gallo. Bien rápido y bien fácil, bien sencillo de hacer. Ok, y creo que sabe mejor que lo que hacen ya hecho en la tienda o en los supermercados, que sí o qué. Y creo que sabe mejor que el de Taco Bell. Pero no diga a nadie ese secreto, ok. Alright, pues muchas gracias nuevamente por volver. Y si no están volviendo, si es su primera vez viéndome, muchas gracias. Sumamente agradecida por ustedes. Thank you so much for watching my video. If this is not your first time, thank you so much for coming back. If this is your first time, then thank you even more for being here for the first time. And I hope you get to enjoy my up and coming videos along the way, because I definitely love to share my recipes that I do at home with you guys. All right. Until next time, enjoy. Thank you for coming to Kitchen of Love with Miss Perez.